and welcome to Inner Circle Guidance. Today we're going to be doing a collective reading, but for those of you who are new to the circle, hello and welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I post new videos every single day. And if you're looking for daily short tarot readings, check out my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube shorts. If you're looking for personal services or personal readings, I offer them through my website, innercircleguidance.com. Let's find out what the circle needs to know today. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the Page of Cups. We have the Death card. We have the Seven of Pentacles. And we have the Ten of Cups on the bottom of the deck. I'm going to take 3 more cards of clarity. We have Judgment. We have the Seven of Cups. We have the Five of Wands, with the Lovers on the bottom of the deck. Okay, I'm seeing that in the past, some of you have picked up the role in relationships of overgiving. Now, this could be because you had a lower self-confidence or a lack of self-worth and you needed outside validation. For others of you, I'm seeing that you fell into this sort of fix-it mentality where when things didn't go right, you felt like it was your sole responsibility to fix the situation. For others, I'm seeing that it had more to do with feeling like you had to guide the other person or not being able to trust the decisions and the wherewithal of the other person. And it had a lot to do with you picking people who were not as spiritually awakened or self-aware as you were, who had a tendency to not be as aware of situations or as aware of themselves in situations. And I'm seeing that you finally were able to make changes and have new ideas about this. New ideas about how to go about sustaining relationships that are more equal and more reciprocal in energy and are more fulfilling and more balanced and more meeting people who are more on your level or exceeding your level instead of being behind you all the time. Because you came to realize that oftentimes when you surround yourself with people who are behind you in your spiritual growth, they end up holding you back and they don't always end up catching up to you. Oftentimes you continue to grow and you're growing at different rates. So you've really been focusing more on surrounding yourself with people who are growing with you instead of away from you or against you. And I'm seeing that some of the ideas about that came very unexpectedly. And it came from maybe a certain relationship in particular that opened your eyes to certain situations and certain issues that you were having in relationships. And I'm seeing that it sent you on a spiritual journey of self-awareness and self-awakening and trying to figure out and pinpoint exactly where this particular decision and issue was stemming from, whether it was self-confidence or self-worth or overgiving or the reason for overgiving specifically, and where exactly you were falling into this continuous pattern. And I'm seeing that you've started planting seeds towards a better future, but I'm also seeing here that you're not exactly sure when and where to trust your instincts when it comes to situations regarding relationships. And I'm seeing that you're still uncertain about whether certain aspects of previous relationships were real or if they were completely illusions, and whether or not you are sort of falling for the illusions or choosing the illusions over reality, and whether or not your expectations are realistic. And it's putting you a little bit into chaos and confusion and having a little bit of stress over decisions when it comes to relationships and when it comes to romance. And I'm seeing that you're really trying to figure out how to balance between being your authentic, independent self, balancing your give and take and reciprocal energies, but also keeping your expectations of the other person where it's realistic and truthful. And I'm seeing that you're going to be getting some breakthroughs and clarity regarding that. Some of you may be having dreams right now that are going to be illuminating certain aspects of these issues or these thought processes that may be confining you. You may be dreaming about ex-lovers or particular non-romantic relationships that really were influential on the way that you view love and the way that you are viewing relationships. And for some of you, I'm seeing too that you are slowly redefining what you believe true love is and what unconditional love is. And for some of you, I'm seeing that you're having to sort of understand and differentiate between the energies of somebody who gives you that butterfly feeling because it's a bad situation and somebody who gives you that excitement and that passion that you sort of might be craving. So let's just get some final guidance here from the cards. We have the Ten of Swords. Interesting. We have the Seven of Swords. We have the Emperor. Okay, so this sort of ties into yesterday's reading. Two things I'm really seeing here. The first one is that you have a tendency to stay in situations long past their expiration date. And the Ten of Swords in particular is a card of something that should have ended long ago and ended in the worst possible way, where nobody really won. You were left completely betrayed and hurt, and it was just sort of a very painful situation. Could have even been like soul-altering, life-changing type of pain. And for some of you, you're still carrying the wounds of this from previous cycles into new ones. You still haven't healed each individual sword. But the other main issue here is that some of you have a tendency to betray yourself in relationships, and you betray your authenticity, you betray your values and your boundaries, your self-care. You abandon yourself and disappear into the other person. And I'm also seeing that some of you have a real tendency to be very cold and unfeeling, or be very standoffish, or to sort of build up these walls. And then you have a tendency to trauma bond with people who you think understand you because they've been through similar situations, or they seem to understand certain aspects of this pain that you've been through in the past. But what it does is it ends up attracting people who are also unhealed, because you still haven't healed a certain part of this piece of yourself that's really important. A lot of you keep focusing on the other person, what they should look like, how they should talk to you, how they should make you feel, those types of things. But what you're sort of missing is the focus on self. Now, yesterday's reading was about betraying yourself in situations and how you have to learn not to abandon yourself when you're in relationships or when you're making decisions. And that's still really important. But there's still some sort of aspect of that you have not learned. And it may be that there's certain aspects about yourself that you have either been avoiding or pretending doesn't exist, or there's some sort of aspect here that you haven't been able to pinpoint that is getting in the way of your 10 of Cups energy, which is happiness and fulfillment in all your relationships. And it really starts with self. And I'm hearing that some of you may focus too much on people who have material, ambitious alignment and not enough emotional alignment. For others of you, you need to figure out, and this is tying into your career. There's something that has to do with your love life in your career that has some sort of tie together, that has to do with your relationship to self, that is getting in your way of this 10 of Cups sort of energy. And you're being asked to do some shadow work and self-reflection at this time, and to really focus on yourself and what you feel is missing, or what you feel is unfulfilling in your life that you're not providing to yourself first. Some of you are still looking for this validation externally, and that's part of the issue. You're attracting the wrong partners, or you are settling with the wrong partners because there's this sort of idea here, or this mindset, or this underlying issue that has to do with your relationship to self that's getting in the way here. I'm not picking up on a clear indication of exactly what that is, but these 3 areas are part of what's tying to the underlying issue. So I would explore each of these individually and start there with your shadow works. Meditate on these 3 things and see if that can get you to the answer. It's going to be different for all of you. But some of you have still not leveled up on the transaction area of where you're giving and taking in certain situations and relationships. And so this is your reading. If it resonated with you, don't forget to like this video. Your affirmation for this reading is, I am becoming a master of transactional energy. And as always, may your life be full of light, full of love, abundance, and gratitude. I'll see you next time.